Hi, I'm Sheri.
And hi, I'm Samara, and this is your first taste into Wild Yarns, our podcast, which we are launching on the 5th of July. We need a date to hold us accountable to this shit. And we're really excited because we will be sharing wild yarns that we have heard, our own wild yarns, as well as ones we've found online and your ones that you submit. So we'll be keeping our ear to the ground for that. But for today, we're kicking it off with some delightful tales of embarrassing stories.
Yeah, so I feel like this is like really relatable because there would not be a person out there that has not had that moment where they feel like they could just, if they could, they would just disappear at that very moment. We've all had like an embarrassing story. One that I remember so clearly is my mum flashed my first boyfriend full frontal, tits out.
Just wait, how old? How old were you?
So I was a late bloomer. So my first boyfriend I didn't get till I was 19.
So it wasn't like your grade 5 boyfriend.
No, it wasn't like.
And Michelle's like.
He was not like prepubescent. He was not a minor.
Okay, that's good to know.
My first boyfriend, it was Christmas morning. So this happened Christmas morning.
Fuck, doesn't he have his own family to hang out with?
He was going there.
Okay, right. That's lovely.
Yeah. So Christmas morning, I was still living with my mum at that stage. We're there. Her bedroom is located on the floor of the kitchen, and me and my
wait, does your mum get her tits out for Christmas every year? Anyways, yeah, I digress.
A little bit of context. My mum, she's more well endowed than I am, quite more well endowed than I am. And at this point in her life, she was very obsessed with Peter Alexander. You know those 90s that were like the triangle top, which probably not the most practical for someone that has that much well endowment at the top. So basically, Christmas morning, me and him were up in the kitchen. We were the first ones up, and we're doing stuff. I think I was making coffee. Mum comes out, and now, if you know my mum, she's a very animated person. She loves to like use her arms to talk and stuff like that. I've turned my back. She's come out and said, "Merry Christmas," and like thrown her arms up. At that time, both tits just pop on out. The only person that's looking at her is my boyfriend, who is like the same age as I am. And I'm facing the other way. I've not noticed this at all. And he just goes quiet. And I turn around and I could just see him like literally just staring at the table. And she comes up and goes, "Merry Christmas," and full on hugs him.
Oh, so it touched him.
Yeah, so she hasn't even realised. And he was sitting, she was standing. So full on hugs him like quite close to the face. I turn around and go, see what's happening, and go, "Mum, your tits out." And she goes, pops them back in, off she goes.
That is a thing though, like you wake up, whenever you wear those like camisole things, you wake up with like tits everywhere. So yeah. I get it, I can relate.
Does not even faze her. She was not even fazed by it. She was just like, "Oh, shit, pop these back in." He was literally his face went bright red. He could not make eye contact with her for the rest of the day. Like,
jeez. I think everyone's had that happen to them at some point in time. I'm trying to think. I was on a boat once, and it was probably the drunkest I've ever been on a boat, which I can drink, and I've been on a lot of fucking boats, and I was pretty pissed. And I remember coming out of, everyone was like jumping in the ocean, and I totally should have. Anyways, I remember walking out of the toilets, and I put my bikini top on wrong, and there was this weird dude with dreadlocks. I was like, oh fuck. And then the captain was there, and the captain turned to me and was like, "Your tits are out." And then the weird dude with dreadlocks was there, and I remember like that whole experience happening. And then it was so interesting because I buried that and forgot about it. And I ran into the weird dude with dreadlocks at Byron once, and he was like, "Tits out, girl." I was like, oh fuck, mate. Anyways, it happens to us all.
Yeah, I guess there's worse things to be known for.
The one I'm going to kick off with is not my story. However, I read it and I was super interested and intrigued about this. So this isn't my story, it's been submitted. And it is a short and sharp one. So this person wrote in and said, "I was doing a Brazilian wax at home, and when I was getting stuck into the bum area, I flinched and glued my crack shut." Which, like,
how, like, do they say how, like, is it just like a little bit, or is it like
I
really?
feel like a flinch like would only be a little.
Like, is it just like sticky tape where it's just kind of, and then you just can peel it apart, or is it like they have to get medical help?
I don't know if it's like a bloody cheese toasty and it just like
can pull apart.
I don't know. I just have that short little tidbit. And yeah, look, I've never waxed, I've only lasered, and I was so surprised when I was getting my beehole lasered how resilient your butt is. So hopefully for her that all worked out. You remove it with oil so she can live, laugh, love with
So the next story we have comes from Reddit, and it's from Am I the Arsehole? And the title is For Being Embarrassed of My Girlfriend's Cosplay. This was posted 13 days ago, and it was posted by correct/3651. My 25 male girlfriend, 24, had a double mastectomy 5 years ago. She had breast cancer and thankfully made a full recovery. Unlike a lot of women, she decided she didn't want to have any reconstructive surgery. This was before I met her. I'm a big anime nerd, and last weekend I invited her to a small anime con with me. She's seen a few episodes of my favourite show, but she's not into anime. She does like cosplay though, and she works seasonally as a special effects makeup artist at a haunted house near us. So when I asked her to go to the con with me, she asked if she could cosplay, and I said, yeah, sure. She got very excited and said I was going to love her costume. So I admit I thought she was going to do something sexy for me. The day of the convention comes and she shows up at my house cosplaying Darby from MHA. And for all of you that don't know, which was me as well, I did have a quick Google search of this, and it's a male character that does have burns across them. Specifically a look that he has later on in the manga. It's a long white coat over white pants, no shirt. Her entire chest was exposed, and she obviously had spent hours applying burn makeup. She has short hair that she dyes constantly. This time she bleached it white and dyed a few red streaks in it. I wasn't expecting her to show up without a shirt. Her burn scars, makeup only covered half her chest, so you could clearly see her mastectomy scar. It wasn't very attractive costume, especially since she had gone all out with the scar and made them look raised and kind of realistic. We went to con that day, and while a lot of people came up to her to take photos with her, I noticed several others looking at her chest. That evening, she said I'd been quiet all day, and honestly, I told her that I was a little bit embarrassed that she was out there flaunting her mastectomy scars like that. She got mad and said since she was making the best out of her bad situation and that I was being insensitive, and she's been distant ever since. I'm starting to feel guilty. Am I the asshole?
So much to unpack here. For one, I'm all for open communication in a relationship. Because sometimes you just don't fucking say it. Like, what a legend. She is owning her story. She is turning up as her authentic self. She's gone to all this fucking trouble, and you know what? It wasn't sexy, but it would have been really fucking cool. So I think he's an asshole. I think just suck it up. Your girlfriend's trying to do something with you.
Yeah, and I think she probably resonates with that character because she's got the scars on her chest and the character has. So it's probably why she picked that character, because it's probably something that is resonating with her. But I'll read you some of the top comments on this.
I hope the girls tore him. Come for this man.
Okay, so this is the top comment with 75k in upvotes. Oh, how dare your girlfriend not have a pretty little cosplay outfit? Obviously, she has not gotten the message that her only worth is if she caters to the male gaze.
Preach.
The next one is, for me, being the key phrase here, told me everything I needed to know about OP. And then the person after that says, I was sold on OP being the arsehole when he said she didn't get reconstructive surgery like a lot of women do. I was fairly certain this post would be about boobies at that point. He's into anime and wanted a sexy costume, then said the out loud stuff said out loud that she shouldn't show the scars from her kicking cancer's ass. I mean, holy shit.
I have fake boobs and they have scars because it's not like the implant didn't just magically get in there. And if any man was like, I'm not about your scars, doll, I would be on your bike. Get out of my sandpit.
He needs to go and step on some Lego. And then here's a few more. A cancer survivor here. I have 37 scars between my neck and my personal parts, including a long wide scar from the rib cage down to my bits. I also have numerous smaller scars and big circle scars. I own every single scar and I'm proud of it. It takes damn confidence for a woman to make something funny from a mastectomy scar. She's a freaking hero.
We can all agree that this person is a joke. When it kicked off and it was saying that he was dating her, and she'd had this double mastectomy, it was before they were dating, I was like, oh my gosh, he's not a shallow piece of shit. And then it actually went into him being exactly that.
Yeah, and that he was embarrassed by, if anyone should be embarrassed, it should be her embarrassed by him and his attitude towards her. She freaking survived something so crazy. My mum survived cancer. She's got multiple scars from it, and her husband would never tell her to cover up any of her scars. You know, she's got a massive scar across her stomach from it. And if she went out and wanted to wear a bikini and it was in front of people, he would never be like, that's inappropriate. Like, you need to cover that up because no one wants to see your scars. Like, you just, yeah, no. Like, it is just fucking... He is the arsehole. He has been voted the arsehole.
And you just know he's a gremlin. Like,
yeah.
You know he's a gremlin. You just know he's a gremlin from reading that.
But yeah, so far, no comments that I can see from OP.
Who did he think was going to jump on and be on his side? Like, the incels on the internet were all going, the boys.
But, like,
the boys were coming.
He would have been okay if she dressed up as, like, a sexy, like, anime manga character with her tits out, which is, like, would be still showing the same amount of skin, but that would have been okay. Probably because then you'd be like, oh, yeah, like, she's with me. But when it's like roles reversed and, you know, she's showing the same amount of skin that he would have been okay with, but it's showing the scars, like, nah.
This is quite a tale. So in my 20s, I went to NYC to see my best mate who was living over there. We got way too excited with the booze and it got absolutely launched. By the way, first night fever is a thing. Every single time I've gone on holidays, this is just me saying this now, but every single time I've gone on holidays, I always get first night fever and I always go too feral.
What's first night fever?
You just get too excited and you drink too much.
Oh, so you just go hard?
Yeah, you go absolutely hard.
You don't pace yourself.
Not at all. Yeah. Every single time I go away with the girls or go on a trip, I always get first night fever and I just get... the grog monster comes out. Anyways, this person did that. We eventually went back to his house, which he was sharing with a lovely woman from his work. We called it a night and both went to bed. I have no idea why I did this, but I started pissing on the bathroom floor. I feel like a lot of people piss in places they shouldn't. A few hours later, I woke up nauseous as shit and ran into the bathroom naked, completely forgetting I had pissed on the floor, which had turned into an ice rink. It's always funny thinking of people running naked. Anyways, he has naked run into the bathroom, forgotten he's pissed on the floor, of course, because, I mean, I feel like no one would knowingly just piss on the floor, or maybe, who knows. I totally ate shit because it had turned into an ice rink. It's New York, so it's ice, it's cold. I totally ate shit running into the room, smacking my head on the tiles, which dazed me, made me split my head open. I then vomited because I'm running, because I'm nauseous, on myself too. So there I was, laying in my own piss, blood and vomit naked. My mate's housemate heard the commotion, saw it all and came in. I was so embarrassed the following day. I am a piece of shit. So that is his tale, the absolute poor bastard.
Well, at least it wasn't like, it's just his mate's work colleague, so we might not need to see her again. Like,
it could be worse for the mate. Like the poor mate who's got to go to work and also the bathroom, the ice rink bathroom that's like pissy and vomity. I think, yeah, that's a bit much on. But yeah, he doesn't have to. He doesn't have to be there.
So I've actually not fully read this one. I read like the first line and I thought it sounded good, so I thought we could react together. It's been up for 5 days and it's already got like 25k in upvotes. It's on Am I the Arsehole Again? And it's been posted by Use Mention 1364. So let's get into it. I, female 25, don't have kids yet. I've never really wanted them growing up, but I figure eventually I would have kids in the future once I got my life together. My cousin Sarah, 29, has 2 bad behaved kids from a previous relationship and a newborn baby with her current boyfriend, MJ, of 40 years old. Last night, my mother, sister Sarah, and I went to a sushi restaurant, and this was my first time having sushi. After we ordered, I had a hard time using the chopsticks. My cousin stated obnoxiously and laughed. The waiter came over and asked me if I wanted training wheels, which is a little plastic item that attaches to the chopsticks that helps you hold them into place. My cousin laughed and said, sorry about her. She consistently embarrasses herself and us. That's like
Wow. It's like when you make a joke, but it's actually real. Like, it's how you feel.
Yeah, jokes, guys. But it's like that passive aggressive. Well, this isn't even passive aggressive. This is aggressive. You know, like just have a little slide that dick in. I just gave her a side eye and put the training wheels on. When it was time to order dessert, her boyfriend MJ finally joined us, claiming that he was busy. She went on to tell him how stupid and how slow I was for not knowing how to use chopsticks, and how the waiter and everyone around now knows how much of an embarrassment I am. My mum asked her what her problem was, and she goes on a rant about how I'm so embarrassing, and it's a wonder I'm jealous of her being a mother and no one wants to have kids with me. Whew. Her cousin's got like an axe
Has
to grind.
no problems. You know what? If you have shitty kids, you just gotta
But,
direct that anger somewhere.
yeah, like, geez, her cousin, like, she ain't
Right.
taking no prisoners. Like, she's not even meaning, like, slightly this sly comment. She's just saying it.
I hope this person something happens.
Yeah.
I hope.
I finally had enough. I said, I don't have kids because I don't want them to come out like you're rude little pieces of shit. And you're calling me an embarrassment. Didn't MJ just have a baby on you with his wife? Oh, your baby literally has a sibling a week apart from her.
Wow. So this person's not that it matters, but
So
they're
yeah,
not married
Nah,
and he's
so
got a wife.
he was obviously
She's the other woman.
double dipping with two ladies at the same time.
Gross.
Um,
It is all very Jerry Springer, this tale.
yeah.
It was the chopsticks that pushed it over the edge.
Didn't MJ just have a baby on you with his wife? Your baby literally has a sibling a week apart from her. You probably learned how to use chopsticks by eating his wife's leftovers.
You know what? Honestly, I feel like I'm like consider myself quite quick-witted, but then when it comes time to like stand up for myself, I can be like, you know, when you're like in the car on the way home and you're like,
I always have comebacks after.
like I have the best comebacks, and when I'm put on the spot, sometimes I'm good. I mean, it's just a little bit of comeback roulette for me, but good on this person for having that up their sleeve.
Okay, so let's read some comments before I do get to the update. You probably learned how to use chopsticks by eating his wife's leftovers. You are my new spirit animal. Same, what a legend. I'm not here for sitting and taking other people's shit and being polite about it. I spent my whole life doing that, and because of low self-esteem and complex PTSD, I am sorry, but I've been depressed a shitload, and that's no excuse for treating other people like shit. Edit. Also, being a shitty when someone is trying to learn a new skill or learn something new is super scummy behaviour. Good on you for trying something different for the first time. A lot of people aren't amazing at that stuff at the first time. Don't give up.
Chopsticks are here for life, man. You can learn. Just get out your rubber bands. Get into it.
It's true, taking the high road is just basically being a doormat and you'll get walked all over. I developed personal policy to take the low road every time. It has
Petty is the bloody 2023 mantra.
Yeah, all about being petty. It has dramatically reduced the amount of time and crap that I've had to deal with. Yeah, sometimes, like, you know, you can take the high road, but then it's just like letting people get away with their shit. Like, you know, not, you know, then they just continue it because they didn't get, like, you know, so sometimes, like, people need to be told. My personal saying is look both ways before crossing me, and if you go low, I go to hell. Let's go to the update.
Update.
Thank you all for the overwhelming response. I've been wanting to put Sarah in her place for a while, so it sounds like it was building up on both sides.
I feel like people in glass houses should not be throwing stones.
Mm-hmm. I'm glad I did, however. Sarah's mum got involved and is mad at me. Apparently, MJ told Sarah that him and his wife were separating. Sarah found out that he lied. Oh, so Sarah did not know.
Oh, I see.
But she's still with him.
Gross.
Still with him. Like, I get there's a baby
gross.
involved, but, you know.
Yuck.
Sarah found out that he lied because she was secretly stalking his wife's Facebook page, and got the shock of her life when the wifey posted about the newborn baby her and MJ just had. Ooh.
There would be so much BV in that household because, like, you can't just be...
Yeah, well, he definitely ain't doing it safe.
No, he's not doing it
knocked up
safe.
two ladies.
There's these two pH balances that are just swimming around.
Yeah. Sarah did the math and realised that he had gotten both of them pregnant over the week of his birthday.
Oh my god, you can just tell he's a Gemini.
I am a Gemini.
You can tell he's a Gemini. I bet you it was in July.
Hey, Gemini's in June.
June, well, early July.
Yeah, then he's a
It's in
Cancer.
July. Oh, both.
Yeah, 'cause
I don't know.
Gemini ends at 20 for June.
Oh, does it? Oh, maybe it's June then.
Yeah.
You can tell he's got a winter birth.
So Sarah did the math and she confirmed that it was over that weekend. He also said that she'll have to get over it or leave. Ooh, he sounds like a real winner. So she stayed and now is constantly in shambles, and that's not my problem. He could have a little bit of heart there, like, you know, emotions. She's pregnant. She's got a lot of, you know, the pregnancy hormones happening, like, and probably just wanted to stay with that baby to give it a shot, like.
Yeah, and she just lit it up. Molotov cocktail straight to the relationship.
Now onto the problem. She keeps the wife's baby.
All of that was not the problem. Well, now we're into the problem. Anyways, go on.
Now on to the problem. She keeps the wife's baby a secret and only told her mum, who told my mum, who told my sister and I. So,
I love it.
so that's when she was like being like, well, your leftovers. She should have not known about that. I reckon that's why that's hit so
the
close
mums
to the
told the mum. Yeah,
because people have been
the sister mums told.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
talking. Said that they were pissed because I wasn't supposed to repeat it. Okay, so that's why like her family got annoyed.
Oh, I see.
But then
probably her mum. I feel like in all of this, if this all happened, I would have no remorse saying that. I'd be like, no, you pushed my buttons.
Yeah, but her mum's probably
her
in
mum
trouble
and
with her.
Yeah, there's probably a bit more that's going on there.
Yeah. My mum tells me so much stuff that I'm like,
just the other day, my sister told me something in confidence, and I accidentally told her work people because I forgot she said it was in confidence, and it wasn't directly bad about her.
One of my friends' boyfriend said he was going to propose. He took 2 years to do it. For 2 years, I had to keep that
I
secret.
remember that because you told me.
Yeah, because I had to tell someone because it was like literally eating away. Like you know when you like.
It was such a long proposal.
And like you know when it's like if you don't like I kept thinking I was just going to blurt it out. Like the amount of times I was with her and I like in my head it was just like he's going to propose. And like literally the self-control I had to show to not tell her that he was going to propose. And then it just went on for so long. It like literally it killed me. Like it took so freaking long to do that. Like that was a very hard secret. I wanted to just blurt it out at like any time I saw her just to get it off my chest because it was just eating away. Don't tell me secrets. Like I'm not good. I'm not good at keeping them. But I didn't know it was classified information.
Yeah, right.
Like after a week, that's all everyone talked about. Sarah's mum, my aunt, reached out to me this morning and said that Sarah's problem with me is that I always said I don't like kids and only a horrible person would like kids, and that I was mean to her about her 2 kids 2 months ago. So this has been building up.
Oh, wow. Jerry. There's so many things there. I feel like that family need to do an honesty circle or something.
That might end up in a bit of fisticuffs. I feel like.
Yeah, I am from Redcliffe. That's what we do.
2 months ago, she wanted to go to a party with MJ and asked me to watch her kids, all 3 of them for free.
Say no.
Oh, I couldn't watch 3 kids. Like I'm not a kid's person. I'm not around kids. I'm not around them. They're always sticky.
3 dogs.
Yes, but like one of them would probably end up seriously maimed if I had to look after 3, just because like it's a lot to look after 1, let alone 3, and like I wouldn't be able to keep my eye on all of them. Like something would happen. Like I think it's fair enough saying no, unless you're like someone that is an experienced parent that knows what's happening. Like don't be giving your single friend like 3 kids to look after. That's not going to end well. Like
I mean, it's just not for everybody. Like I know I'm very similar in that I don't. I love my nephews and I love them, but like it's weird. I'm really good with my nephews, but other people's children, I'm like I just don't know. It's like I turn like. I don't even know how to talk to them. I'm like,
I don't know what to do with them.
Like, and they're looking at me like, you're a fuckhead.
Like, what do you say? What do you say to them? Like,
I know. I feel like this might come to me if I have children, and I'll be like, oh, I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Do you have a conversation with them? Apparently, baby talk is very bad for babies. Like,
really?
So then do you have like a proper... They can't understand you. I don't know. Kids... Yeah, I wouldn't want to look after 3 kids. Like
that's a lot. That's a baptism.
They would not be getting 3 kids in return back. So I guess that's why she's still holding...
That's a punishment for the comments. The 3 kids.
So I guess that's why she's still holding a grudge. Regardless, Sarah's mum said that she was having a really hard time after finding out about the outside baby, who technically was the inside baby, as Sarah is the outside baby, but whatever. That is true. Sarah did find out she was the side chick.
She's had 3 children with this man.
No. So she had 3 children with another man and then a new baby with this man. So she's got 4 children. Does she have 4 children? Or no, does she have 2 children and then 1?
2 and then there'll be the 1, So 2 shit kids.
So yeah.
Oh, yuck.
So yeah, it would be hard finding out that
MJ has not got enough rap in this story. Like no one has come for him.
Like he needs to be doing.
He must be on some bank.
Yeah, he needs to be winning in another area for him to be the shit in this area. Like,
you know what? The dating pool is garbage. So
yeah, honestly,
I mean, I'm not at that state, but gotta do what you gotta do to secure the bag.
I'm picturing him to be one of those skinny ass dudes that has a terrible job and hates life, but yeah, for some reason
it's because they all have big dicks, but it's always those skinny weird looking guys that are like
Like you'd like to think if someone acted this shit like in other areas, like they had a great job and a great house and all of that, that like that's why you were putting up with their shit attitude, but you just know that this dude is shit everywhere.
Yeah.
And she wanted to apologise, and she wants me to apologise for putting her business out there for everyone. Well, it seems like everyone knew about it already.
It's just a mess.
Like, it seems like it was, like, everyone knew. Like, it wasn't a secret.
Everyone needs to come to Jesus on this.
She got my mum and sister involved, so I just called Sarah and apologised. She said, I don't care what you have to say, and hung up.
Oh, gross. Don't watch the kids.
Yeah, like...
Don't...
Yeah, Sarah.
How important is it to you? It's so interesting. Like, I feel like family is very important, and our families are both very important to us. But when you hear stories like this, and I'm so fortunate, we both are, that we've got really beautiful relationships with our family. But when it comes to this sort of stuff, it's almost like, is it worth it having a relationship with your cousin? Like,
And it seemed like she just wanted her to apologise so she could hang up and have like that last like
go,
because
man.
it seems like OP like really got the last say in at the restaurant, and now so she kind of just needed to do that. Regardless, I held up my end of the bargain, and hopefully this gets blown over soon because your girl is tired.
Oh, she watched the children.
No, I think she just is tired of all this shit.
Oh, God. Ugh. That was a tale and a half.
That was. Let's see if there's any good comments from after the update. Oh, one of the comments. She's jealous. I keep trying to anchor a relationship with a baby that I really don't want to have.
I'm glad
I never knew about the term anchor baby until my friend Tom told me, like, an anchor baby is, like, the baby you purposely have with someone so that way they can't leave the relationship because it anchors them to you. Down. I never ever knew that, but yeah, basically saying that she's...
Where's he anchored, though? There's anchors everywhere. Yeah. This bloke.
Really? He's got a lot of boats. He's got a lot of ships out there.
Dropping anchors every other day.
Yeah, saying, I keep trying to anchor a relationship with a baby. Yeah, maybe that is her kind of like, I don't know her deal with her other baby daddy. Maybe her anchors are not heavy enough to sink them on down.
Ugh, it sounds like a nasty hot mess.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go for it.
I've got something more light-hearted. I'll lighten it up. So this is just a little quickie. The original poster has since deleted their account. I was sleeping over at my girlfriend's house. In the middle of the night, I needed to take a leak. So I got up and went about my business and went back to bed. In the morning, I woke up next to a slender Burmese man. I was extremely confused. And I had to look out the doorway to see my girlfriend standing there signaling me out. I slept with my girlfriend's dad, which honestly... I've accidentally done that once when I was drunk. Like, once when I was drunk, I went back to this guy's house. It was like a one-night stand. Went back to his house. This is actually mortifying. I'm just thinking this. Never spoke to him again. Went back to his house. Was pissed as a fart. Went to do exactly this scenario, except for I got in bed with his sister. And I woke up and I was like so confused because I drank so much the night before, and I was probably about 20. I had no... Look, I had no idea, and I woke up next to this woman, and I was just like, shit, what have I done? And then, yeah, similar, like, I got back up and, like, crept back into his, like, bedroom, and I thought no one knew. But then it didn't occur to me that the siblings would talk. My most embarrassing moment was my daughter's boyfriend crawled into my bed in the middle of the night. I pretended to be asleep until he's left. The entire night I feared he'd get horny. Oh my god.
So this one is a short and sweet one, and it is posted on Today I Fucked Up on a subreddit by Hollows of Your Heart. So this was actually posted 4 years ago, so it's quite an old one, and it's got about like 94k in upvotes. Today I fucked up by accidentally getting sexual with my dentist again.
Go on. This sounds like something like that Johnny Sins like Pornhub would have, like the man that's everything. This sounds like the setup of a Johnny Sins
porno.
Anyways, go on.
I can never go back to my new dentist after 2 visits because I'm an idiot. My dentist is a very nice, professional man. Our first appointment was going pretty smoothly until he made an innocuous remark about being strangers. And my immediate reply was, "Oh, you're not a stranger. You've been inside my mouth for the last 20 minutes.
Okay.
I could see you saying something like that. I could see you pulling out a one-liner like that.
Probably. How does that pivot? Anyways, I want to know the pivot. The pivotal point.
I did not intend to make a sexual joke. His face turned bright red and he was clearly embarrassed but continued on like a true professional, and we were probably both relieved by the end of the appointment over. I had my second appointment today and I actually mentally prepared myself to be a model patient who didn't say anything weird. Thank you very much. He had been working in my mouth for about 5 minutes when he started to seem really uncomfortable or something. His face was red and he was breathing a little heavier. I was a bit concerned and also confused, like how could I have embarrassed him this time? I had hardly spoken, so he keeps working in there when I realize what the hell is happening.
What's happening?
My dentist is wearing grape-flavored gloves and I have been absently mindedly licking his fingers the whole time. I am never going back.
Oh my gosh, or accidentally getting sexual. I thought they were actually, I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to get sexual. I was like getting ready to get turned on. I'm like, this is going to be a good story. But no, that's actually more wholesome than the trajectory it could have gone on.
So here's a few comments. People act super weird when in the dental chair. My anxiety doesn't help. I've had my fingers licked and sucked 100 times because patients thought it was the suction tip. He probably forgot about the interaction shortly afterwards. Don't sweat it.
That's just normal.
Yeah.
I've never dated or known or anything a dentist.
No.
I don't know any dental people.
Oh, he's funny. The dentist signs it off as, I am a tooth carpenter. And then someone underneath comments, man, I want to open up I'd love to get a job at a sex shop just so I could introduce myself as a foxsmith. Okay, so this is going to be my story to wrap it up, and I actually got this from my friend Tom, and it's going to be a doozy, so that's why I left it to the end. This happened a good few years ago now, when I was about 24 years old. I was on holiday in the UK to visit some family, and one night I went out with my cousin to her friend's 21st birthday party. One of my cousin's mates took a fancy to me, and she kept buying me drinks all night at the club, in particular tequila shots, which I had way too many of to count. Later on that evening, we went back to hers where the party continued, and one thing led to another, and we ended up doing the horizontal mumbo. Soon after that, we both fell asleep, and sometime a little bit later, probably in the early-ish morning, I wake up as my stomach started to feel a bit funky. But I just decided to try and sleep it off. But then again, in about an hour or so later, I woke up again because my stomach was feeling funky. And this time, I definitely knew I had to find a toilet. Originally, I thought it was just going to be a big fart, and being the gentleman that I am, I was obviously not going to do it on her in her bed, so I decided I needed to get up and find the bathroom. In the process of having to climb over her to get out of her bed, just picture this, my bare ass up in the air, I farted, or what I thought was going to be a fart. Turns out it was not. It wasn't a fart at all, but the most watery diarrhea you have ever seen. Just imagine a fountain of diarrhea that has now just sprayed half across her bedroom. And
all her trinkets.
Yes.
Her trinkets.
And I mean on everything. Her clothing, her floor, over half her bed, on all of her schoolwork, and even the ceiling, which I must admit was a bit impressive.
Oh my gosh.
At this point, me and my bare ass panicked, and I just quickly grabbed all of my clothes and started down the stairs. Didn't wait, didn't tell her, didn't try to clean it up, just grabbed his shit. On the way out, I shook my cousin awake who was asleep on the downstairs couch, and just told her that we needed to leave and we needed to leave now. Still in the state of being half undressed, I ran out the front door with my cousin in tow to a very chilly UK morning, and started to get dressed on the street. My cousin asked me what had just happened, why are we leaving, and I told her I would explain everything later on. In what was probably about 10 seconds, just as we got to the front gate, I suddenly hear the loudest scream followed by, "What the fuck?" And I just started legging it down the street half naked.
Oh my god, Tom!
Later,
Poor girl.
Down the street, my cousin asked me, Tom, what did you do? And I just said, don't worry about it, I'll tell you later. And to this day, I still have not told my cousin what actually has happened.
So the cousin never spoke to the friend again?
Well, that's what I asked, because I thought surely the friend would have been like, your fucking cousin
you
did this. Like, my room is ruined. No, apparently, the friend just blocked her on everything, never spoke to her again. And Tom has never told his cousin why.
When
the
you're
friend
that young, yeah, right.
But then I guess too, like if I was the girl that just had a random guy that I hooked up with shit all over half my things, I don't think I would be telling anyone. That would be something I'd be taking to the grave. I would just stop talking to her just because I would think that she would know, but I wouldn't want to tell her. But then, so therefore, I would just be like, you know what? The easiest solution is we pretend this never happened.
I would tell everybody. I would even hire one of those planes that have like a sign attached to tell everybody if someone shit all in my... Someone did do something in my room and I have told everybody. I have told everything. Yeah, someone bloody did something unsavory in my room and I've told every single person.
Yeah, you told me within a few days.
It's just like when the blowback had happened and yeah, I told everyone. However, I think probably because they're a lot younger. When you're younger, like I'm older, like so I'm 35 now, like you're cool with having those like hard discussions, but when you're young and you just be like, fuck this, like you would just be embarrassed.
I don't even think I try to clean shit. I just start binning stuff like none of those clothes, none of that, none of it's salvageable. Just chuck it all in the bin.
No, oh Tom.
Very typical of him. But instead of being like doing the adult thing and being like, hey, like this has just happened.
What do you say?
Or going downstairs trying to find some cleaning supplies and go up and clean it. And like,
what do you say?
He just ran.
Go and find a gurney.
He's like, I don't live in the UK. I'll never see her again. Let's go.
Oh wow! Look, not the gentlemanly thing to do. That's for sure.
But I don't know if this had happened to me and I just met the person and I was on holiday and I probably would never see them again in my life. I don't know, the option of just running sounds pretty good.
I would, if I was the girl, I would tell every single fucking soul. I would even hire PR to get me on the news to tell people. Like, I would go all out. However, if I did it, I would run away.
Yeah,
to the
especially
street
if it's like this person had like no, like, you know, you just weren't going to see them again. No friendship group, no nothing.
It's an awful thing. So, like, he has probably got some karma
coming his way.
There's like some shit karma coming his way. Like, so, he has a shit on the wall up his sleeve that's going to come back and get him. So, yeah.
Yeah, so what are you going to wrap up this podcast with?
I think I might wrap up with a little rapid succession. Okay. I actually like this one. This is kind of cute after such a shit story, literally.
Yeah.
3 years ago, a guy I worked with wanted to give me a fist bump. I thought he was pretending to hold an invisible microphone. So I leaned forward and said, hello? And be like, hello?
That's like when someone says like, have a good day, or like,
yeah.
And you're like,
good thanks.
Yeah, good thanks.
Hello? I'm going to do that next time someone like goes to fist bump me. I'm going to do the invisible microphone. Okay, this is a bit gross, but we're going to go there. A friend of mine is an EMT, which is a paramedic. This is an American story, so I imagine a paramedic. And he responded to a call of a sex session gone horribly wrong. For some reason, they wanted to do some role reversal. So the male insisted that the female shove a Coke bottle in her vagina and let him suck it like a penis. Oh, God. So, I mean, just get it.
Wait, I'm just picturing this now. Because when I first thought of it, I thought like the part that you drink out of was, but it's reversed. Because he wanted to suck it like a penis.
Yeah, you can't, I mean, it depends how big, unless it's like a slim light bottle. But that would be scary, because would your vagina suck it up?
A Coke bottle would be like, yay, why?
Yeah, unless it's slim.
Okay.
And in America, everything's bigger.
Yeah, they upsize everything.
Yeah. Anyways, and just get a strap on. Like, just save yourself the drama and get a strap on. And if this is America, you're gonna have to pay for the ambos to come out anyways. Oh, fuck, I did not realise. There's Coke in the Coke bottle. So I thought an empty Coke bottle.
A whole new element.
So he shook it up, shoved it in, opened it, got his face all wet.
So yeah, it's definitely the base in the other end his way.
Apparently, though, it got lodged in her vagina. Fucking no surprises.
Yeah.
They didn't realise until later, when it got worse. They tried anal. The neck of the bottle got stuck in his anus.
So they didn't think about taking that out before they went to the
next? I'm thinking they did the next thing, because it was lodged in there, and they've done it straight up.
Would you just not be like, look, we need to sort out this issue first before we go on continue on with this. Like,
You know
personally,
what?
I'd be calling a timeout
If you-
before I went on to the next thing.
You know what? If you're into freaky things and you've finally gotten a partner, a woman, to agree to let you shove a Coke bottle up there and spray it in your face, you're just going hell for leather. You're like, I'm sorry, like, I'm going to soak up this
What is
experience
it?
as
In
much.
for a penny, in for a penny.
Yeah, just do it. Rip off the banner. Anyways, it's stuck in there. And they tried anal. The neck of the bottle got stuck in his anus. So when they called 911, the EMTs found them naked, attached her vagina to his ass.
Wait.
She's got the Coke bottle.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like when dogs are rooting and they get stuck together.
Do they get stuck together?
Yeah, they do.
I never knew this.
Google it at a later time.
So her
I've seen it,
vagina was
unfortunately.
attached to his...
So yeah, it was stuck. So the bottle was stuck in her, but then from the pegging, the bottle pegging, it got stuck in him too.
Wait, so did he try to put his penis in the bottle?
No.
No, okay.
She used the bottle as a dick. Like, imagine a
So
strap
she
on.
put it in him. Oh.
So it was stuck in her,
Okay.
and she was
okay.
using it like a strap on, and then it was stuck in him.
Yeah, I get it now. I get it. It took me a second, but now I get it.
Someone else commented the EMT went on to direct the human centipede. Fair.
No hassle projects. Just make it a rule across the board. Like, unless it's coming from a sex
Yes.
shop and it's designed for that, just not.
Just get the money.
There's
and
sex
do
shops
it.
everywhere. Just pop one down the street, go and buy what you want. You'll be back, 20 minutes, and then get started.
I think part of the kink was the Coke spray in the face. If that is not an ad for Coke, I don't know what is.
No, there would be some sort of strap-on that would do that. Like, come on.
Surely.
Like, there is all sorts out there. There would definitely be something
Look,
like that.
if you can
along
buy a
that line.
fist, you can get a Coke bottle that sprays you in the face.
That is safe. That's not going to just get stuck.
That is the tea, or the Coke. My last one is probably my favourite, and I think it's so humorous.
We
and
should do a podcast with emergency room nurses. I reckon they would have some crazy stories.
They would, or even the X-ray people. Like, that was, like, whenever I've spoken to X-ray people, they've told me, like, weird stuff stuck in private
I once
parts.
yelled at the X-ray guy. I felt so bad. I apologised to him after because it was when I dislocated my shoulder, and he kept telling me I had to like drop my arm down so he could get a proper X-ray because I was holding it like that because it was out of its socket. And then he's like, no, you got, and I kept like trying to just move it slightly because it's in pain. It's not attached anymore. And he's like, no, it has to be like completely down by your side, like so we can get a proper X-ray. And I was like, I'm fucking trying. It was not a good time. I did apologise when I went back when they re-x-rayed me after they popped it back in, and I said, I'm very sorry for yelling at you. You did not deserve that. I was just in a lot of pain.
You know what? They're probably used to it, the poor things. This is my favourite, and it's my favourite because I'm a 90s kid, and it is, my dad once caught me fucking an Alf doll. Mic drop. And I get, because I was thinking about it on the drive over, Alf dolls, do you remember Alf?
Yeah, kind of.
I'll show
I'm
you
thinking
Alf.
of like a stuffed doll. Like what kind of...
Alf had a big fucking nose, and I get it because women love sitting on
okay.
the face.
I was
Look
thinking...
at the nose, looks a bit like a dick.
Okay. I was instantly thinking when you said fucking doll, I was thinking of guy, but now I
No, it's the big curly nose dude.
Okay.
Which I get it. Like, if you're going to sit on a face with a big nose. I don't actually know if the original poster was a man or a woman. It just said, my dad once caught me fucking an Alf doll. Boom.
Short and sweet. And so that was some wild yarns about some very embarrassing stories. And as always, if you have any wild yarns, feel free to send them on through. They don't have to be embarrassing stories. They can just be wild. And where can they find us?
So they can find us, we have set up a Reddit page. So you heard us read some from Reddit. You can anonymously submit on Reddit. We have a landing page as well set up, which is in the link in our bio. If you want to submit that way, that's totally fine as well. Or if you just want to send us a voice note, we've got some AI that converts voice note to text. Look at us being modern age girlies. So we can do that, so it's not your voice note being played, it's actually us just reading it. So submit away, we want to hear all your stories.
Yeah, and we are on all of the socials under Wild Yarns Podcast, so definitely go and check us out.